So today guys, we're going to be showing you guys an explosive damage build that I think a lot of you guys will enjoy if you like blowing things up. And who doesn't like sending out those bombs as you guys are seeing in this gameplay and just letting stuff explode. Now you can run this build solo or in group play, and that is the beauty about this. Now I will tell you the one down is if you get any of those enemies who don't really take any kind of explosive damage, well, that might be something you have to look out for. You might want to switch to like a turret or something, but most of the times you guys should be fine, especially if you're running this in group, because they can focus on that kind of enemy and you can just focus on throwing out those explosives and letting them do the work. And I'm having fun with this build. This build is definitely one of the builds I enjoy. I haven't played with the build like this in, I want to say, a long time. I haven't played with a build like this since title update, maybe 14, 13, I don't know, a long time ago. And I decided, you know what, I finally got a couple pieces that I wanted to try, and I never really put the build together, so I was like, let me do it and have fun with this one. So in this video, you guys should enjoy this one. If you guys haven't had an explosive damage build just yet, well, it's going to be your time to try one out. And as you guys just saw in the gameplay, pretty simple, right? We're able to take out this control point, and I'm even have some rogue agents later on in the video so you guys can see that it was able to take them out too. But first off, just wanted to show you guys a little bit of gameplay, and if you guys enjoy the channel, make sure you guys leave a thumbs up. If you guys are new to the channel, make sure you guys subscribe, and remember, you can check the playlist for builds, tips, tricks, how to get exotics, how to get the hunter mask. There's a full build playlist for each of those on this channel, so make sure you guys subscribe for more. But let's get into it. That is enough talking. So for the signature weapon, we are running the Demolitionist class, and this is the only class that is going to allow you to run the mortar turret. So just something for you guys to keep in mind. If you guys want to run this build, well, you guys do have to have this class unlocked to be able to do that. So for this build, I am running my pistol as my primary, and I'll explain that in a second. Now, if I can get one roll a little bit different, then I could definitely switch something else. But yeah, the TDI card I think works really great because it's going to give you that one skill tier, especially if you spec it the way I do. And then not only that, hitting an enemy grants 15% skill damage. And then obviously if your skills are doing damage, it's gonna give them 15% weapon damage. So total 30% skill damage you should be receiving with this, as long as you guys are doing them at the same time. So the turret's hitting, this is hitting, so it should work, especially if you have like your mortars going off and your seekers. Just now, if you guys don't have this, right, and you don't need the extra skill tier, well, you guys can just run the capacitor. So the capacitor is going to be a great bet right there. And remember, that's going to build up those stacks, then shoot, and then you're going to see that damage really improve. But I'll explain why I had to run the TDI card versus running the capacitor. So we are running a 3-piece Empress International. This is going to give us skill health, skill damage, and skill efficiency. We have skill tier on here. We have status effects, skill damage, and the reason why we stack some status effects is because the mortar turret causes bleed, and that helps it out right there. And we have skill haste right here. For the chest, we have our second piece of Empress, and this is gonna give us that 10% skill damage. We have skill tier, skill haste, skill damage, and a skill haste mod. And then if you look, we have perfectly skilled. So skill kills have 30% chance to reset skill cooldowns. This is actually pretty good because with the turret, right? Oh, sorry, with the mortar turret, and then with the seekers, if one gets the kill, you have that 30% chance of getting them right back. And you'll see that a lot of times you'll end up getting your seekers back to back to back because that's totally random. So that's actually really cool about that. We are running our third person Empress on the holster. This is going to give us that skill efficiency. We have skill tier, skill damage, and status effects. For the knee pads, we're running a 1-piece China Light. That's going to give us 15% explosive damage. That's going to help out with those explosive skills. We have skill tier, skill damage, and then what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to remove that repair skills there, and I'm going to put status effects on there. So you don't want the repair skills, you just want the skill damage and the status effects because of the bleed on the mortar turret. Now we are running a 2-piece Grupo. If you guys didn't know, the 2-piece gives you another 15% explosive damage. Just from the 2-piece Grupo, I'm getting 15%. From the 1-piece China Light, that's 15%. So that's 30% explosive damage. We have skill tier on here. Now I would like to have, this is the 1-piece I'm trying to get where I want skill damage on there. So it's very hard because most times with these you get red rolls. So ideally if I could get one that has skill damage already there and skill haste or skill damage and crit damage, it doesn't really matter what the other rolls, but I do want that skill damage. then I can just roll that skill tier on there, and that's ideally what I would like to do. And then for the backpack, I have our second piece of Grupo Sombra. This is gonna give us that 15% explosive damage with weapon damage, skill haste, and skill haste on. So ideally, this is something I would like to see where it already had skill damage, skill haste, and then I'll be able to roll that core attribute. The big issue is getting Grupo pieces like that are very tough. So what I did to supplement having to find 2 God roll pieces like that, well, if you run the TDI card, you'll still get that 6 skill tier, right? Because it gives you that 1 skill tier, and that allows me to be able to run 1 core. Ideally, you would like to run the capacitor and then have all yellows, but that is very hard to get. It is even hard just to get rolls like this. So something for you guys to look out for if you're farming. Maybe farm some, keep just farming Grupo Sombra, and hopefully you guys can get something like this. Let's get into the skills. So we are running the clusters, the Seeker Mine. Now this is gonna give us 3.1 million damage. We have 10 mines on here, and then for the mods, we're running a 5% damage mod, a 4.81 because I don't have another 5%, and then 1 extra clusters. So yeah, the cooldown on this is 28 seconds. That's why you want that chest piece talent, so that way you can get these to refresh pretty quick, and you'll notice it actually happens more often than not, especially with running a mortar turret. Now also, 3.1 million damage is a lot of damage, and if you can get those enemies stuck together, it's a lot of damage it puts out. Now, the mortar turret, as I said, it does cause bleed. So this one's gonna give you 3.6 million, almost 3.7 million damage. The ammo on here is 10, and then the bleed damage is 65,000, and the bleed duration is 9.1. Now, the bleed damage can actually get a little bit better if I put those status effects. So ideally, what I would like to do is that one piece that has that repair skills. I haven't rolled it yet. Well, I just told you. And then obviously, if you get lucky and get more status effect on two yellow rolls on those Grupo Sombra pieces, will definitely help you out too. But you can see with that alone, the way I had this set up, I'm already putting out damage. So imagine if you could just get a little bit better pieces, man, this build could be very impressive. So just something for you guys to really keep an eye out for when you guys are farming. If you guys want to do an explosive damage build, this build right here works amazing. As you guys saw in the gameplay, as you guys are seeing now, I'm not having any issue running this build at all. So ideally, this is really up to you on how you want to run it. Like I said, I would love to have all yellows and be able to run the capacitor. Now that I can't do that, well, then that's why I have to use a TDI card. So that is something you just have to really work around. If you can get those Grupo Sombra pieces with those yellow rolls and get that yellow roll, it's going to be a little bit better. So you can already see what it's doing now. Imagine just adding a little bit more skill damage, and then imagine adding another yellow roll, and then having the capacitor. Just something for you guys to keep in mind when you guys are creating these builds. Really up to you, but I'm having fun. Oh, I forgot to say, on the backpack, the talent I am running is Combined Arms. Is shooting an enemy increases total skill damage by 25% for 3 seconds. So an additional 25% extra skill damage I'm getting right here, and it just works, guys. So really up to you on how you guys run this. Let me know in the comments if you guys have any questions. Hopefully this helps you guys out. Appreciate the support, appreciate the love. See you guys in the next one. Hey, NothingButSkillz out.